Now here's the three biggest backswing mistakes that I see all the time. Players will drag the club to the inside, get a little bit of a reverse pivot, or come down steep. Now, if you're watching this video, you already know that you probably want to stop doing those things. Everybody wants to stop doing those things. The trick is we got to not only give the right drill, but actually engage the right muscles. Get the feeling of the right way to do this so that you're doing it under your own will. And let me go ahead and start with the snatching it to the inside, taking it to the inside. How do we stop doing that? Well, whenever I drag the club to the inside, I'm using my wrist muscles and my forearm muscles to pull this club head back because it feels powerful. I can move the club really quickly this way and drag it back in here, and then I start coming over the top. Well, when I do that, my right forearm and my right wrist, the outside of this forearm is firing, and that's pulling my right wrist back. That's what's called extension of the right wrist. We want to do the opposite of that, actually engage the muscles on the inside of the forearm to do more flexion or bending the wrist this way. So this is the wrong movement here, and we want to get more of that as an exaggeration or kind of deactivating these outside muscles. So all you're going to do is go ahead and take your grip. You're going to start your backswing with your body, so not with the arms, not with the wrist, but I'm going to rotate my body, and I'm going to let my wrist bend the opposite direction, kind of inflection here. If I do that, I'll actually feel the muscles on the inside of my forearm engaging. Do about 5 reps of that, and then switch it over to the left hand. Take your normal golf grip. If I snatch the club and pull it to the inside there, I'm using more of these muscles on the top of my forearm to bring the club that way, and I'm rolling my hand, which would be turning the arm inward like this. So what I want you to feel like is as you take it back, again, we're going to do the opposite. Use the outside muscles, the ones on this side. Feel like those are engaging and get the wrist to bend this way instead of picking it up that way. So we're going to do about 5 reps. You should feel it in this part of the arm. And again, once you do that, try to get that same sensation or that same feeling, and you're going to be able to keep the club outside a lot easier, which is going to allow it to drop to the inside. So get the feeling, then repeat it in a normal full swing. There we go. That definitely felt like I was able to bring it back a little bit more out and not drag it in when I did that. Now the second one is the reverse pivot. Very, very common. And reverse pivot just means that my torso is leaning this way, my upper body starts to extend back that way, I get all out of whack, and my head starts moving around, my low point changes all over the place, so you get a lot of chunks, you get thin ones that you hit it, just dribbles along the ground. You get slices, you get hooks, you get all kinds of stuff when that's happening. Here's a great way to feel that. What I'm going to do is I'm going to take my arms out to my side, and I'm going to make some swings, just imagining the golf swing on an inclined plane. So if there's a plane of glass here, my arms are just going to be riding up that plane back and through. Now I'm going to go to the top of the swing, and if I have a reverse pivot, I want to stop here when my left arm's toward the ball, my right arm's directly behind me. And if I have a reverse pivot, I'm going to lean my upper body back so my chest is now up to the sky. If I have the opposite of reverse pivot, I'm actually going to lean forward where now my nose is over my shoe, my right shoe. Here it's back, my nose is way over here. My nose is over top of my right shoe, or my shirt buttons are over inside of my right shoe also. I want you to go to the top of your swing like that and feel those motions 4 or 5 times. You may feel like your abs have to crunch a little bit when you're doing this. You feel like your chest goes down versus up. So again, I'm feeling how to do this with the actual muscles in my body. And then I'm going to work on getting there. I'm going to feel what that actually feels like. Then I'm going to make a couple practice swings, trying to recreate that same feeling at the top of the swing. All of a sudden, now I'm in a lot better posture, and I just go to the golf ball. I get those same feelings that I just recreated, and now I can get rid of that reverse pivot and have nice, clean body outlines, body angles as I'm coming through. So I don't have my body kind of moving around this way and that way as I'm making a swing. Now finally, the shallowing one. That's a tricky one. Players will get this club across the line or bring it inside, across the line, and then steeper. We already went over the inside move that starts this whole bad process happening. How do we feel the right muscles to get us to shallow it out? What I can do is come over to a wall, take a golf club. I'm going to step about 1.5 feet away from this wall, about like this. Now what I'm going to do here is I'm going to do that same backswing that we worked on. As I go to the end of the backswing and start the downswing, I'm going to let this club drop on the wall. And as I rotate open, I'm going to keep that on the wall as long as I can. That's going to get me away from the inside and from the slot. Now you'll notice when you do this, your muscles in your left arm have to rotate internally. So I'm going to feel those muscles on the inside of my left arm here. My right arm is going to feel like it rotates externally, like I'm putting my thumb into the wall almost. And I'm going to feel that more on the outside of my right shoulder, and I'm going to feel those muscles. Now as I do that 4 or 5 times, I'm actually activating the right muscles that I need to have in the golf swing to get the right feeling of golf swing. And then I can simply step up to the golf ball, recreate those same feelings that I just developed, and get that club to shallow out from the inside. There we go, hit that one really nice. Now, there is a problem when players tend to get that club shallowing out for the first time ever. Now, the problem with that is that the face stays open. So a lot of times when players do this drill, we get it on the wall, we start to slide it down, they leave the face open like this. And if you do that in a swing, as you come down, the face is wide open, that ball is going to go a mile, an absolute mile to the right. You're going to hate it. It's going to be the worst thing ever. But that's actually the right move. The pros are dropping the club to the inside, getting it in the slot, shallowing it out, but they're doing something different rather than leaving this club face open. They're squaring the face up by using the right wrist angles. So as the club shallows, the wrists turn like all the pros are doing. The left wrist bows, the right wrist gets back, and what I call the tennis racket move. Now I'm going to teach this to you, just like the pros are doing. So you can shallow it out and hit those draws just like I did here on all 3 of those shots. You can get that same feeling for yourself. I'm going to play a preview of that video here in just 1 second. All you need to do is go ahead and click one of the cards that pops up on the screen somewhere. If you don't see the card, don't worry. Just go down to the description below, click the link there, and you'll get instant access to this tennis racket drill. Now, once you learn the feeling of shallowing it out, and then how to use the wrist to make sure that that club always squares up, that ball always turns over from right to left, you're going to have a blast playing golf. It's going to be a whole heck of a lot easier. So I can't wait to see you in the tennis racket drill. Let's go and get started right now. Good player problems. We're going to talk about shallowing that club shaft out as we're starting down, as we're doing this rotating of the face that we worked on in the last video. As we start this downswing, what you'll see with basically all of the top players is instead of coming kind of over the top and letting the hands come out away from their body, letting the club come out away from their body, again coming down steep into the ball and then having to open up, kind of fillet open the face and add loft to it. The flattening of the shaft should happen as soon as we start down. So as we start this downswing, what we want to have happening here, you can imagine that if I draw a line from the hosel of my club up through my right elbow, that's my swing plane line, my elbow plane. As I go to the top of the swing, I'm going to be slightly above that. And then as I start down, I want my hands to start to shallow out. I want the club to shallow out inside of this elbow plane. And at the same time, I'm going to be rotating.